Welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at this. If you haven't seen this before, this is a micro SD card mod for the PSP Go. I got this from Genius Game Mods. Fairly cheap and a fairly easy process to install. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is take the 4 screws off of the PSP Go. We can go ahead and just very easily, you can pop it out, assuming there's some clips around. But it looks like for the most part, you can just kind of lift it up around the perimeter. I'm dumb. We have screws on the top. Let's take those off as well. Okay, top screw 1. That was close. I feel like if I definitely pried some, would have not been a good story. Okay, now we should be able to easily slide that off. Cool. Crisis averted. No damage done. We're good to go. Okay, next thing we want to do is take a flush cutter, if you have one. If not, just something that can cut flushly. And we're going to trim around essentially this area. And that's going to trace around here. So we have this little square, we have these pegs right here. We're gonna trim all of this off, as well as these plastic bits right here. We're just trying to make as much space as we can. You do wanna be careful because there's some ribbon cables here, so just go slowly and take your time. Okay, and this copper is just for heat dissipation, so don't feel like the world is over if you kind of bump into that. Now this is good enough. It is hard to kind of get this square just because of the angle. So do the best you can. Now for the PSP section, we're gonna go ahead from this angle. And that looks good. Enough, which is all we need. So we have, you know, not the biggest amount of plastic, but pretty big for this amount of hardware. Let's go ahead and get the actual device out. So the package comes with the actual adapter, as well as 2 pieces of tape to keep it in place. So this is where the SD card is going to go. I have a generic 64 gigabyte SD card that we're going to be using. Now I think you can go up to 128 with this, but I don't really need to. So we have the SD card right there, this way. There we go. And then we're going to fold it over, and it's going to essentially sit right where we trimmed all that stuff. And you can see why that tape is beneficial. So we'll go ahead and place a piece right here, and then we'll place a piece right here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that right there. And I'll do one more, probably going this way. And this is a nice mod because you can still access the card after. It's not too much of a hassle to open the PSP. And this tape is not gonna lock you out. Okay, so that's held down nicely, and this little port is still gonna close, so no worries there. Now, while the back cover is off, let's go ahead and turn it on and see if it's reading. You do need a modded PSP for this, so the memory stick cannot be read. Let's go ahead and format it. System settings, format system store, actually no, format memory stick, there we go. Okay, format complete. Oh, I just did that. And then there we go. Memory stick, 58 gigabytes free. Easy as that. We'll go ahead and just power it down and then put the back cover on, and we're done. And the back cover is just going to snap into place. Now, there is going to be a slight hump over the back portion, and you'll get a better look at it when I go ahead and put the screws in. And there we go. Back complete. Now, I was talking about a little hump. If you look here, it's very, very hard to see But you can see there's a little bit of a bump. You might see it better with my fingers here. A little bit of a bump on this side. Honestly, when it's in your hand, you don't really feel it at all. I don't know if you can see it from here. And I do have a case, so if the case fits, then it doesn't really matter. And the case even fits fine. So the dimensions don't drastically change, and you're really not gonna notice much. But that's it, guys. That is a quick little mod you can do. Jailbreaking this thing is very easy. Installing this is very easy. It will take some time for it to spin up every time you turn it on, but in terms of accessing it, fairly easy. If you guys have any questions, drop down in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked the video, drop a like. If you want to see more videos in the future, consider subscribing, or don't. I don't control you. See you guys in the next one. Bye.